Mr. Mora. Buenas tardes, good afternoon. It's an honor to be here. Congratulations to the class of 2016, 2017, and 18, and beyond that's out there sitting in the audiences. I would like to start off going back when I was in middle school. The lunch bell had ring. Somebody asked me, "Hey, where you from?" I looked back, and I'm new to the campus, so I just kept walking. Maybe he's talking to somebody else. And I kept walking, and he says it a little louder, "Hey," I said, "where you from?" By the time I had looked at him, I seen that he had about 3 or 4 of his friends. And I was jumped that day. Long story short, the security officer came, the campus security officer, yanked me up, took me to the principal's office. And the principal said, "You know what, Mr. Mora, we have a zero tolerance for gang involvement. I'm gonna have no choice but to expel you. Matter of fact, I know you're already on probation, so I'm gonna have to contact your PO." And in my mind, I'm thinking about my parents who had just gotten a divorce. In my mind, I'm thinking about my parents who had a 5th grade education. In my mind, I'm thinking about, well, man, I was just kicking it with them, man. They jumped me for hanging out with these people, man. I was innocent, man. Y'all tripping. But I said nothing. I had my mouth closed. A closed mouth does not get fed. And instead of me raising my hand and saying, "Well, Mr. Principal, look, I need some help. Not only do I need help, my family needs some help. We struggling. Help me get through this. Give me some type of mentor." But I swallowed my words. And I kept it pushing in the wrong direction. I ended up going to the streets. I ended up getting incarcerated from the age of 12 all the way through 17. I was in group homes, electronic monitoring, home supervision. I ended up graduating through independent study program, but I went to community day school, which is a program where they would pick us up. If you were on probation, they had an opportunity where they would pick you up, take you to school, which was right next to juvenile hall, and then take you back home. So I understand some of the experiences that are going on out there. I understand losing friends at the age of 14 and 15 and becoming numb to it. I understand that maybe escaping that reality of trauma, of violence, of giving up through smoking or drinking and partying and escaping that reality. I understand that. Until I finally said, you know what, I'm ready to change. I don't want to be buried. I don't want to be a statistic. I want to be on the other side, graduating and being somebody. And I had a mentor. Somebody walked into my life and I said, you know what? I want to change. I don't know how, but I'm going to do it. And I started writing poetry. And that gave me some hope. And my probation officer came and said, "Mr. Mora, we're going to release you off probation with the condition of you having a mentor." And I said, "A mentor? Man, you're going to have a police who wants to just, take me back to juvenile hall and call." I didn't trust any adult. She gave me this card and she said, "Contact this mentor." I went to his office. And for the first time, I seen a reflection of myself as a 30-year-old man. I had a lot of people telling me, "Daniel, do this, do that." And honestly, man, they couldn't relate to what I had lived through. So it was hard for me to accept advice. With this mentor who happened to have lived a lot of the experiences as I have, and the probation department did a lot of collaboration with community programs and individuals who were once incarcerated and had changed their lives. He got me my first job at YEP. Some of you might have known it. It was on 23rd. They were originally in Fruitvale, and I helped them move from Fruitvale to 23rd. I was a janitor at YEP for Michelle Clark, the executive director. I cleaned out her garbage can, I mopped and I swept them hallways, and that was my job. That was my first job as a janitor. And I ended up re-enrolling in high school, and it was hard. But I was pushing through it. I had a mentor there to help me answer any type of question. And then I started listening on some of the workshops. And then I was standing in groups like this and going to summer camps and talking about my life. And then I ended up coming to a place like this because semester after semester, the same way I was going harder in the streets, I was going harder in books. And I graduated with the high school diploma. I didn't know what I was going to do next. I ended up going to Job Corps, and I said, I want to go back to college. I can't afford it. Then they got this thing called FAFSA, free money that you don't got to pay back. Thousands. And I went to Mary College, and class after class, I went from sitting in the back with my hoodie on in high school to sitting in the very front with a pocket dictionary because I didn't understand half of the words they were talking about. And then I ended up going to a place called UC Berkeley, and boys and girls, I graduated from UC Berkeley. I want to ask all the graduates to stand up right now. All the graduates stand up and repeat after me if you will. Education is more than me. Education is about knowing my role with myself, my family, and community. Education is much more than reading a book, participating in class, and passing a test. It's about what I do after school and outside of class. My ancestors and those before me sacrificed for this day to pass. I understand that my education will open doors so that someone else can also pass through what I've experienced. What I do today impacts my tomorrow. There's a gentleman by the name of H.S Graduation who was out did a lot of work in the fields. And it wasn't just him. He just happened to be the face of it and the voice of it. But we had people from all over, all walks of life, all color shades, and who spoke different languages. And they weren't able to quite communicate all the time. So what Cesar Chavez did was created a common language. It's something called the unity clap, which is what I'm going to end in. And we all know now that the President Barack Obama, when he ran and campaigned for presidency, his slogan was, "Yes, we can." In Spanish, "Si se puede." So I'm going to share a few words, and you guys are going to help me doing this unity clap. So we're going to start off real slow, and I'm going to motivate you and walk you through it. But by the time that I'm done, we'll have a powerful chant, and we'll all be clapping very loud. So I want us, the graduates, let's start off clapping real slow. If you're ready to make a change, if you are ready to stand up, I want you to clap a little bit louder. If you're ready to graduate today and make yourself smarter, make yourself work harder and work smarter for tomorrow, I want you to clap just a little bit louder. If you are ready to go on to college, to pursue the career that you choose to pursue, if you are ready to be that person, if you are ready to love yourself, to love your family, and love your community, I want you to clap even louder. When I say "si se," you say "puede." "Si se," "si se." Give a round of applause for yourself. Thank you so much. My name is Mora.